Mr. Musa Cham, founder of Defend Human Rights Organization. Welcome to the Checkpoint.
Thank you, Mr. Mbe, for having me today.
Mr. Cham, first of all, to start with, can you talk to us about your organization, Defend Human Rights, the composition and the objective of the organization?
Okay, thank you very much. Defend Human Rights is a grassroots organization which we found in the Gambia here, which focus on promoting human rights education and also trying to redefine the misconception that people have about human rights, and also providing opportunity to children that are very vulnerable to their right to primary education, which we are working on to make sure that at least we try to fulfill this right for these children.
What are the activities you are doing to ensure that you achieve that?
When it comes to human rights, in the area of promoting human rights education, we depend highly on training, involving ourselves in the community, and trying to train people to understand what these rights are and how they can recognize these rights, and also if the rights are recognized and they are denied, how can they claim for these rights? And we also go in further to make sure that at least if they're able to claim some of these rights, how will they defend these rights? So that context to our advocacy on human rights education push us into trainings and activities that that bring us connection to the community.
You're talking about promoting access to education, or the right to access education for children, and then also getting into the community. Does that mean that you get into the community to find out who are these children that are also denied these rights and try to help them access it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we do that. We normally go into the community, and sometimes we come across these children on the street, and we also realize that when it comes to the statistic is very important. There is a gap in terms of children attending primary school. If you look at the dropout rate of children in schools, based at the primary level, the male dominant is 38.8. Now, if you look at the statistic on female children that are also dropped out from primary school, the rate dominant is 3.8. And if you look at the Gambia, it's a population of 1.8 million. Now, if you are able to get that statistic, it means if these children leave primary school, where are they heading to? They are going to the street. And what would they do at the street? And the other important thing also, if you look at the statistic, the international statistic also, to achieve to the attainable to achieve goal, the quality of education, goal 4 of the global goal, that is the sustainable development. There was, the statistics shows 81% of enrollment.
81% of children enrolled
in school.
Yes.
And out of that, 91% are enrolled to primary school. And then the 9% that is not enrolled do not capture some of the children. And who are these children? They are the invisible, the children that they normally call the invisible children. They are the street children. So if you look at the statistic, it can easily help.
Why are they invisible? Why are they invisible?
Yeah, globally they are normally not captured in most of the surveys that are conducted in order to get the statistics to intervene to support children. Yeah.
You mean the statistics that you are just reading does not capture these children? That's why they are called invisible.
Yes.
Okay, they are not seen by any of the surveys. They are not captured by any of the surveys.
Yes.
Now, if you look at that, the numbers you're saying, they are all maybe on this in the street or somewhere at home. Yeah. Why do you focus more at the school system?
Yeah, if you look at it like when it comes to primary education, it's a fundamental right to every child. And if you look at Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, talks about right to education, that every child have the right to education, and put the responsibility on government to make sure that every child, you look at it, they are not saying children, but they say every child should attain to primary school. And when they go to school, they should be supported. in order to realize their potential and also to develop a skill out of the school. And at school also, they should be respected, and they should be treated, and they should be free from all form of punishment. Now, if you look at also Article, let's say 11 of the African Charter of the Right of the Child also talks about right to education, which says that it should even be compulsory on all children, especially children that are neglected. So therefore, right to education is an issue to most of the children, because children need that care from their parents, and they also need support for development, for holistic development. Because if the child wants to develop in an environment whereby he does not have primary education, in the future, they will be unskilled and they will also be jobless. So when we look into this, and we are also in the field, and we have seen the value of education, and many children are left out, and they are not provided this opportunity, whereby it was an obligation to government to make sure that all children in this country attain primary school. That should be registered.
But government have these policies,
yeah,
aren't they?
Yes, they have the policies, the laws are there. If you look at the Children Act.
Now, what do you think is the problem? Is it the implementation or the community and family response towards these policies and laws?
Okay, when it comes to the issue of children being on the street, research have shown that it is a combination of multiple issues or problems. It could be the family, it can also be the government. We can also take it as the issue can also fall in the hand of the caregivers, those that are also responsible to fulfill those rights for these children. Now, if you look at the multiple issues, it covers so many issues like poverty. Poverty could be a reason. Lack of one parent or two. Where a family also break, marriages sometimes break. Most of these children, they end up going to the street. The physical and the verbal abuse, most of these things, most of the time, make them to isolate themselves, to see that, and even neglect. Sometimes they are neglected by their parents. Sometimes you will also see that those who should make sure that they get the proper guidance in order to get to the primary school or to have this education, forgone or forget about these things, and they don't even put much concentration to at least give the child that proper guidance or responsibility that they should take themselves as parents to make sure that they go to primary school. So our major objective is the attainment of primary school or primary education for all children in the Gambia.
That's a minimum?
Yes, minimum, yes.
Minimum?
Yes, at least. Yeah.
Okay, we understand your organization, Defend Human Rights, yes, is also working towards promoting access to education, yes, for children in the streets. Can you talk to us about that? How far are you with that?
Yeah, actually our main target is like we are targeting all the vulnerable children. But when we are out at the street, we normally see those children on the street, especially those that are begging. So what we normally do, there are some that we are getting, and there are some that we are unable to get on board. But those we have on board, we are supporting them. We have provided them schools, needed material to go to school, and we have also given them the necessary support that they need in order to attain to primary school.
Now, you said you're targeting vulnerable children, yes, but also you see children in the streets. What do you mean by vulnerable? Is it only those in the street or others at home under maybe less privileged families or other circumstances?
Yep. Yeah, that's a good question. Like when we talk of the vulnerable, the children who are at risk to the denial of their rights. Who are these children? There are many, and they are in many folds. Some, if you look at it, at our own experience or the experience that we gathered on the field, you will see some who are at risk to the who are at risk to be denied or who are at risk not to attend primary school. We have seen that most of them, their parents choose the apprenticeship for them at a very young age. So most of these children also we target them. When it also comes to the traditional beliefs also, we have seen that some parents are still living with that belief that their grandparents, or the grandparents of the children, have decided earlier that these children should not go to school, which have deprived some of the children at home not to attend to school, which we are also trying to break and to bridge that gap, to make sure that we orientate them, we tell them the value of education, we inform them about the right that these children have to go to school. And in doing that also, we also meet some of them hawking on the street, whereby adults are dependent on these children to feed them, which deprive them their right to go to school, which we also normally tackle. We also normally get involved, interact with these children, know who they are. If the parents agree, we take them to school and give them the necessary support that they need to go to school. Sometimes the support is not only financial. Sometimes they don't even need financial support. The support sometimes they need is to see that somebody is there to talk to their parents, to realize the importance why they should go to school. Sometimes the support may come in a way that parents are running away from some of the responsibilities that they will be taking if these children are in school. Example like giving them daily lunch to go to school. And if they see that it is going to be a burden on them, they deprive the child the right to education and allow the child to go to the street. So these are some of the things here.
Now, can you give us maybe a brief sequence or procedure of how you do this? If you see a child in the street, how do you start the process to where you get the child to school? And after getting the child to school, how do you ensure that the child is retained and attain at least minimum primary school education?
Yep. We have a team on the ground, which whereby we work together. When we have a child on board, we first talk to the child, because if you look at Article 4 of the Charter, always looks into the best interest of the child. In any decision that you are going to take for the child, you have to ask this child, what actually brought you here? What was your thoughts about your life? Sometimes they have that mindset to tell you actually their dreams, to tell you what they want to do, to tell you even sometimes their future dreams. I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, I want to see myself as a journalist, for example. Sometimes they clarify that for you. But if you ask them, why are you not in school? Most of the time, the ones that I have encountered is the problem lies on their parents. My father said I should go for apprenticeship. My ustaz or my father has taken me to the Dara, and I am also asked to go to the street and beg as an allegiance of your upbringing. So most of the time, these are the reasons that they give. Now, if you ask them, do you want to go to school? They will tell you yes. If they accept and they agree that they have the love to be in school, we now get in touch with their parents. We have a form whereby the parents will sign, attest to it that a particular group name called Defend Human Rights has approached them. There are some information of agreement that we put on that particular document, whereby most of them are always under guidance. The guardian will sign, and we also sign. If the guardian also signs, sometimes we also ask him to seek the consent of the parents, whether they will allow their child to go to school. If they agree, then it's a done deal. It's a deal done. Then from there, we pick you from there. Now look for a school within the area. Then we take you to that school, talk to the administrators. And if your age is 9, sometimes also there are issues. If your age is 9, which class are you going to allocate you? This also sometimes, but sometimes we normally take them to grade 3, whereby we start with, we allow them to start class 3. Then from there, we monitor their progress. If you see that they are doing well, then we allow them to move to the next level. If they are not doing well, we ask them to stay for that class. Then also, at the end of the day, what we normally do is, if there was a reason why the parents also kept you in the data or just allow you to go for a mechanic or for apprenticeship for any other job based on a particular reason. Sometimes they will give you reason. I cannot take care of his or her daily lunch every day. So if we see that as an issue also, we do our best to maintain an amount for you every month.
You give the student or the child lunch to go to school daily?
Yes, we normally give it to the parent. Okay. I have somebody who is responsible of that. I will ask him to take a particular amount of money to that parent and inform him that it is for the child for his lunch for the whole month. Then, if there are other issues, also most of the time, also we provide them the uniform, we provide them the school bags and other stationary materials for them to do. And these children, most of the time, at the end of the day, they believe us more than their parents. Even if you go to the school, they will start telling you their problems. I need this, our teachers said we should buy this. So when we get in touch with those things, we quickly help and provide those things.
Yeah, that is when the child says he wants to go to school or she wants to go to school. Yes. Now, what if, on the other hand, if the child is not interested in going to school, what do you do? And the child still have the right to go to school. Yeah. And then the laws are saying that they cannot consent for themselves. Yeah,
that's a fact. But hardly, I have never come across a case whereby we approach a child and he said, I don't want to go to school. Most of the time, all of them have that mindset of going to school. They always want to be in school, especially the primary level. They always want to be in school. But as you said, in case we come across such, we will also try to see strategies to win the mind of the child, to inform him a lot about why we want to take him to that school, why we want to provide that opportunity for him, what value does it has for him to be in school, and how will he also utilize this thing at the end of the day. Most of the time, if you convince them of the importance, the value of education, and inform them the future about what they can be tomorrow, most of the time I believe they will accept, and they may not deny. Because even if you look at the inhuman condition that they are experiencing or they live in, sometimes if you approach them, hardly they deny the offer. Because the way they are living, they eat from remains. When people finish eating, at the end of the day, those are the things that they collect together, put them in one basin. They hardly bath for the whole week. If they bath, maybe it can be once a week, or sometimes, even if you look at the body, you know that actually there is something wrong with their hygiene. Okay. So therefore, if you approach them to show them that this is an opportunity, there is a conformment for you in a particular environment, and if you accept or if you take this opportunity, you inform them. Because sometimes it's important, like you talk to children. You talk to children, you inform them, you dialogue with them, explain to them the stage where they are. What is that? What does what actually that stage mean in their life? If they move from this stage, where are they heading to? And if they leave that stage, what will be the outcome? And what give them the expectation of what people are expecting from them, what their family is expecting from them, what would their children tomorrow also expect from them, what would government expect from them, and what would the world in general. We cannot limit everything to our homes, to our country. We also should think about the world. So sometimes you diversify, you make sure that you widen their understanding on all these things. And most of the time, if you mentor them, if you talk to them about these things, they end up seeing the future and start denying the condition in which they were.
Now, if you go through this process, get somebody to school, the target is minimum primary school. Yes. That is basic education, yes. Primary education. Do you have plans to continue supporting this child even after primary education, if you realize that the family situation that forced the child to the street is still existing?
Yep, we have plans, because sometimes, like earlier I said, sometimes the age, sometimes we come across children with 15. Because if you look at the Gambia population, let's go back to the statistics. Statistics is very important. Yeah, exactly. Every institution, every government should base or work on statistics. If you look at the Gambia population, we are saying from 1.7 to 1.8 million. The dominant age group is 15 to 24. 15 to 24, which is 57.6% of the population. Now, if you look at the age 15 to 60, it's giving you 59.08%. And if you look at the age 64 above, it's giving you 3.8. So therefore, sometimes we come across, because sometimes the age also is our concern. In what we are doing, we also look at the age. If we have somebody age 15, I got one who was age 15, sometimes you're going to take them to the primary school. What we normally do is we take them to the upper basic.
What about if they don't have the foundation?
Most of the time we provide them remedial classes. English and maths is our major concern, because once they are able to read and they are able to cope with the basic mathematical concepts, we believe that any other subject in the classroom that they may be doing, they will be very much competent to continue with that. This is why when we have you age 15, I have two in experience. I'll put it on my experience. I have two age 15. What we did was we take them to grade 7. In that class, we allow them to have a wider understanding of what Western education is all about, what the classroom is all about. There we don't consider you much. We just monitor you, allow you to go and interact, to be going and coming to see what the teachers are doing. Then the second term is where we normally pick it up, whereby now we will counsel you to see the basic things that you have understood so far. Then from there, we will now get in touch with other teachers, because there are teachers who volunteer, sometimes to offer them English classes and to offer them mathematics classes. And sometimes also, if I don't have a teacher to volunteer, I connect them with the best students in their classroom to support them in English and to support them in mathematics. And I make sure that I monitor this thing and it is effective, because I will always be asking the mentor, the mentee teacher, or the teacher that is supporting you, or the student. Let's say the student, I always consult with the student all the time. Is your student coming? I will also be consulting the student. Are you going to your teacher or the student that is supporting in the class? So if you focus much on guiding them and showing them that I am more concerned about this than you, most of the time they pay attention. And even if they are at age 15, they show greater interest into what they are doing. So this has helped in our work, and they have succeeded, because if they sit to the exam, most of the time their results, my major concern is about the English and the math. I don't even bother much about the other subjects, because I will know in time the other subjects will be fine with as time goes on.
Okay, now if you look back into your work, maybe for the past few years, you want to convince somebody that different human rights has been making an impact. Without even mentioning names, can you tell us some success stories, maybe a few of them, that you've taken this child to school and then he has gone through the system to a particular level that the child is right now?
Okay, when it comes to that, we have registered many success stories. Currently, we have a student that is shortlisted at the university for the journalist program, and it was through our intervention that took that child from the street to the school, and he started in grade 7, whereby he sat to the grade 9 exam and got aggregate 16. He sat to grade 12 and came out with 6 credits.
Commendable.
Yes, we also have another one who is currently admitted at the college. It is also a registered success story. He was also a runaway from the street, came across us. We were able to help him until today he is at the college. He also did well in grade 9, and in grade 12 also he did well. He got admission to the Gambia College. Currently also we have many of them on the ground at ECD. Some of them, we have them at ECD, whereby we met them at the garage. A child of, let's say, 8, very young age, you want that child to study mechanic. Still now, we don't deprive you from your further interest, because if you look at Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and also Article 11 of the African Charter, both stated that the parents can decide, can choose on what you should learn. So if we see the read that you can take both simultaneously, we also allow you from school, then you go to your workshop. And we still maintain, because we don't want them to. But at the end of the day, even this child that I told you that he is shortlisted at the university right now, was a tailor. And when the parents see the read that he must continue that, and there was a tough push and pull between me and them on that.
Yes. Now, quickly, we're running out of time. I know we have about 3 minutes or more. Okay. But in a minute, what is the dangers associated to having these children grow up on the street and not go to school?
Yeah, there are so many dangers associated to it, because they are exposed to so many things: exploitation, abuse. When you have the child on the street, you are also teaching the child an easy way of getting money. You see, they will now not value hard work. They will believe that you can get money through the easiest way without hard work. You see, and at the end of the day, what happened? You are breeding a society, a youth group in the population that would end up being unskilled, and also they will be jobless. This is why every child on the street should be taken away from the street and be provided the opportunity to right to education and be supported. Because if you look at the welfare, if you talk of the child welfare, it means how can the parents or those vulnerable children, guardians and parents are supported until they support their children and they are successful in life. So this is what the welfare talks about. This is why we have rights and welfare. This is why we have rights and needs. Yes.
Now your organization, Defend Human Rights, is going into this, and you've made mention of some cultural barriers, some social barriers, economic barriers, and so on. What are the challenges you face in trying to ensure these children are in school?
Yeah, when it comes to challenges in society, there is always a challenge. Sometimes redefining the concept of human rights not being a Western value becomes a challenge in the society. Secondly, the mentality and the traditional belief of our people in connection to what we are doing most of the time do not go down well with many of the people that we meet. So in most cases also, sometimes there are threats into what you are doing. People threaten you, people see you as anti-Islamic, or in so many ways they may coin it. There is, that challenge is always imposed on us. But nevertheless, we always see to it that we are not denying the children both right to education.
Meaning you face some threats like you taking children from Dara or from so.
Yes, because if you approach them on the street and you are able to convince their parents at a level and they end up taking the child to the primary school, it becomes a threat to you, because most of the time they don't like it. And if you look at the inhuman situation of these children, at the end of the day, they will be going to school, and at the same time, they will be going to Dara. And that's why, this is why it is important now to look at the statistic of children on the street, whether it is increasing or it is decreasing, whereby the government could also have plans, if they know the number of children on the street, and check the frequency of it, whether it is increasing or decreasing, they may be able to take action and ask questions.
Now, finally, what is your message to the stakeholders? We're talking about government coming up with good policies, sometimes implementation or people's acceptance or implementation towards the policies are not the way it should be. We're talking about different corners to this children issue. What is your message to those people, finally and quickly?
Yeah, okay. To my message is like, let us utilize the charters, the documents, the declarations that we have, because they have recommended and recognized the rights to all of us. And let's work together to fulfill and protect these rights for these children. And everyone can do this thing at your own level. because everybody is an activist. Once you are challenging an issue, you become an activist. So challenge issues that are relevant and that would have an impact to the life of the people. Yeah.
Mr. Musa Cham, the founder of Defend Human Rights, thank you for your time on the checkpoint.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mbe.